Hello, Harvest Youth Group. Welcome. I'm Christian Gamalian. I'm talking with co-host and your youth pastor, Matt Eldridge, and this is Quarantine Convos, a Harvest Youth Group podcast. Today is April 24th, 6 weeks removed from the last day of in-person school. My goodness. 6 weeks also since we had our last in-person youth group at Harvest. And we're ready to have some more quarantine convos with some more students because I'm going crazy. So, Matt, who do we have this week?
This week, we have our good friend, Josh, Mr. Burns, tuning in with us. He is a junior in high school. But before we have Josh join us on this little podcast, Christian, you know what time it is. It's time for You Hate to See It, You'll Love to See It. So, The world wants to know, Christian, what did you love to see this week, and what did you hate to see?
All right, so I'll do two love to see it. We talked about this a little bit. I love to see how many people were at youth group this last week on Pictionary, Boys versus Girls Pictionary. You'll hear more about that in a second. My other love to see it is playing Madden 2020 with my brother and got a sick pick six. I had like 4 or 5 defenders with me, like to blockers, whatever the word is. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get rid of all these guys that are trying to tackle me. And then I was able to snake my way through and get all the way to the end zone, and it was sick. So
awesome.
That's against my brother. My hate to see it is, okay, so Pictionary, the girls won, but here's the thing. They had words like parents, where you just like draw a little baby and then you draw parents, and galaxy, where it's like you just got to do like a little swirl. You know, they actually didn't get that one. Guys got dud and stove.
I forgot about dud.
There's so many words you get to before dud. There's broken. There's what is that? Like computer? Like he was drawing milk duds, which is great. But how the heck do you do milk duds without writing milk dud? And then stow, like put, place, box, person, mover, like.
Well, and then newborn came up on easy, on the easy setting.
God. Easy, like
unreal.
Baby, parents. Where do you get newborn? Like, you put a clock or something? I don't know. So
it was crazy.
I'm not salty at all, but I'm ready to get a win next time.
But you clearly hate to see it.
Clearly hate to see it.
Awesome. Well, let's bring Josh in here and get this thing going.
Welcome back and welcome, Josh. Thanks for coming on.
Woo! Thanks for having me, fellas. Pleasure.
Of course. All right, so before we get into it, let's get an icebreaker question from our guy, Nels.
This week's icebreaker question is, if you could vacation anywhere on Earth for free, where would it be?
Thank you, caller. Excellent question.
What you got, Josh?
I would say, if I had a vacation to a quarantine-free place for free, probably be Ireland. I've always kind of wanted to go to Ireland.
Love
it's like my dad's side of the family's Irish, so it'd be folks.
Love it. Was it red hair that originated the Burns name? Mom! All right.
That might have been, dude.
Awesome. Ireland sounds amazing. So, Josh, during quarantine, what have you spent most of your time doing other than sleep?
Well, Frank, probably, I don't know, I've been gaming a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I know isn't like super exciting, but
it's exciting to me.
Are you talking like chess gaming or what?
Video.
Virtual.
I actually have a
virtual chess.
Got a virtual reality thing for my PlayStation. And I got a game called Drunken Bar Fight, which is pretty much what it sounds like. And so that's just fun. You can pick up stools and just like hit people over the head with it. You can pick up people and like swing them around and stuff, hit other people.
Basically a zombie game.
Yes.
Awesome. Kind of, yeah. But
oh my gosh,
that's been fun.
Wow. Could not have predicted that one.
No, that's unreal. Never heard of that.
So I played at my friend's house and I was like, dude, this is sick. And then I saw it like a couple weeks ago and I was like, I totally forgot.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
That's unreal.
Doing that, and then been working recently because the big wigs were like, "Hey, all the stores can now bring back like 2 to 3 people," and so I happen to be one of those 2 people for my store.
You're an essential dude.
And for our viewers that are unfamiliar with your place of work, Josh, where is it that you spend your time?
The Discount Tire in Vancouver on the 192nd, right next to Sonic. We get free air checks, we price match tires and wheels, and we do free flat repairs.
Very cool.
Do you get free stuff at Sonic?
No, we should though.
Yeah.
Well, like 99-cent corn dogs anyways. So
Hey, that's almost free.
Yeah.
Except for the calories.
Do I have time to tell like a quick Sonic DT story?
Do it.
Okay. So at Discount we have like a roll. It's like really giant trash bags that we put like tires in when we like give them back to the customers. And this is before I started working there, but my coworker Soren, him and the guys he worked with, they take the roll, like the cardboard tube that was inside the rolls, and they put it on a part of the tire changer that has a little cone that when you step on a pedal that shoots air out of it, and we use that to air up the tires. So you put the tube around the little like air cone, put a corn dog of Sonic in that, you stomp on the pedal, and they would just shoot corn dogs over JCPenney's. Like, I was just dying. Imagine you like you see a corn dog in like terminal velocity just fly right over the JCPenney.
Can you imagine if a corn dog just hits your windshield as you're driving? Like, what would you even assume is happening?
Sometimes it wouldn't even make it over the roof. It would just smack straight into the sign and just like fall into the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
Woo.
So yeah.
Well, on that note, that's awesome. What is the most embarrassing way that you have spent your time while you have been stuck in your home? We've heard about the drunken bar fights, but since that's not embarrassing at all, when have you just been like stuck and like, you know what, I'm going to try something that just seems ridiculous right now?
I don't know. I don't get like embarrassed too much, especially in the comfort of my own home.
Yes.
I don't know, like with the videos on Instagram I've been making, I'll be like in the middle making it, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, no, stick with it. It'll be good. And I'll watch it, and I'm like, whatever. Yeah, probably that, because I don't know. I don't really do a lot nowadays.
Committed to the craft, though. I appreciate that.
Real. We appreciate the content. So, Josh, how has quarantine impacted your relationship with Jesus?
It's definitely been like kind of hard to focus on Jesus, like in this time, because like I still need to worry about like doing school stuff, and then like worrying about whether or not I'm gonna get called into work, and then just like trying to make sure I'm personally doing okay. But it's been like, I've been feeling better in the past like couple days. Like just trying to think about him more, and like I've been trying to pray more. I thought that's been helping me. That's kind of like a reminder. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Like I think it's so interesting in this time how just different people respond in different ways, and it's kind of a process for each person too of kind of seeing, okay, God, where are you at in this, and what does this even look like now to follow you or walk with you during this time? So yeah, I think that's been pretty normal for a lot of people.
Yeah, just trying to see the good in the situation, which is
totally
hard sometimes.
Yeah, totally. There's been a lot of loss for sure. So, as we haven't had youth group all together for quite some time, big bummer. And we miss it. We've had some good times online, but what is one of your favorite memories from youth group that you can just look back on in this time?
Dang. I haven't gone to youth group for a while.
True dat.
I'd probably say ETV of like, was it last year? Yeah. Last ATV that we had was like super fun. That was the first one we were rafting on, and it was actually like,
yeah.
super fun. And we went down Oak Springs like perfectly, and we like floated down it.
Dude.
Yeah, and then like the group of guys I was with was super fun. I was with all my boys. Freaking Ryan, just like coming for no reason.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was awesome, dude.
Goofball. Didn't even
And
know it came from.
Gus, right?
Augustin.
Gus
Yeah,
was
Gus.
there, too?
Augustin.
Yeah, Augustin.
Taught us
Shout out to
all
Gus.
a bunch of fun French words.
That was awesome. It was so cool when I heard after the fact that you did rafting for the first time, and you and Parker, right? Parker wasn't so sure he wanted to do it, and
Yeah, it was like the night before.
awesome.
It was like me, Parker, and Caden. Caden really wanted us to go, but me and Parker were like,
yeah.
you know, we got other stuff to do. It's funny because Matt would
Oh,
come
of
up to
course.
you,
What stuff?
you know, stuff and things.
Oh my gosh. That was literally an accident. We want to keep talking, we can.
Yes, keep going with your story.
But so, I think it was like the next day, me and Parker and Caden, like some other dudes, we go up to Matt and we're like, me and Parker like, you know, Matt, we're not really sure if we want to go rafting. We're not really feeling it. And then Matt goes, dude, bro time. And we're like, dang it, he's right. We have to have bro time. And so that was kind of like the deciding factor. Us going whitewater rafting was bro time.
Of course. I mean,
So-
really, there's no other reason needed.
Well, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
like
man.
creation, beautiful, fun, all that,
Yeah.
but bro time, dude.
Bro time. That's still like an inside joke that we have.
That's awesome.
Dude, come on, bro time.
What?
That isn't a false alarm this time, but if you know that sound, you know that it is time for halftime. Halftime, heads up. Pay no attention to the strange man in the background also.
Alright, guys, I quit.
Halftime, heads up. So, Josh, this is how this works. Right now. Oh, that's your blocking for your screen. I
That
was
is
like,
what I
and
blocked.
Christian is sharing a verse with us.
Thank you, Christian.
We are going to play a game of Heads Up, and this is the version of Heads Up where Josh has to act out whatever is on the screen of my phone, trying to get Christian and I to guess what is there. So far, the high score is 3. Not very high, but when you do this, maybe you'll see how hard it is. So far, it's Max and Megan, 2 high schoolers that are tied with the high score of 3. Josh, if you get higher than 3, or if you tie 3, each of you will win a fabulous prize, because this is our last halftime Heads Up for the month. So whoever was the top score for the end of the month wins a prize, and that prize is a gift card of $5 to wherever you choose. Wherever you choose.
So
Do
I'm
it.
expecting you to get
I need
5.
this. I need this.
All right,
I
one
need
for each dollar.
All right.
Agreed.
So when you get one right, when we say when we get one right, Josh, just let us know that we got it right, so I can make sure to start moving on to the next one. Or if you want to skip one, you can also do that as well.
Okay.
Any questions from you?
So I just act out whatever's on the phone.
Yeah.
Whatever is on the
No
phone.
words, no noises.
Okay.
All
Mind
right.
frame. Is this a good shot?
Yeah.
This is great. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Texting.
Texting.
yep.
Boom.
Matt, move your head. Okay.
Drawing.
Drawing. Writing. Painting.
Oh,
Painting.
Painting.
Yep.
Painting
Yep.
a picture.
Oh.
Typing. Keyboard. Piano.
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 Yes. Flipping a page. Putting something in the
cards.
oven.
Cards.
Poker. Poker.
Poker.
Yep,
Poker.
yep.
Ah. Makeup.
Mascara. Eyeshadow. Eyeliner.
Eyeliner.
Makeup.
Oh.
Fishing.
Chainsaw.
I don't know
Dancing.
what that is. Dancing.
Uh,
What was that?
It was yo-yo.
Yo-yo,
yo-yo.
dude. So
Trying to
good.
get-
Josh.
You got
killed
5,
it.
didn't you?
I think so.
He got 5. Oh,
One for each
Christian
dollar you
predicts
just
it,
earned.
and Josh does it. Josh, you are the winner for this month of Heads
Thank all my
Up.
sponsors, my agents, God bless us.
So,
Drunken
do you
bar
know
fight.
right now where would you like the $5 gift card to?
No,
All right, let me know.
I will.
Awesome. Well, congrats, Josh. Well done. And now we can move back on to some more questions.
Awesome.
So, Josh, what has been your go-to snack in quarantine?
Ooh. There have been many. Oh, dude, I totally forgot. I just remembered. I have Pringles. I got like 2 tubes of Pringles. I almost ate a full one like a couple nights ago, but I was like, need a whole lot. I only ate like 2/3 of it. Yeah, I'd say kind of chips in general. I like chips.
What
Yeah.
flavor of Pringles suits your
Flavor?
fancy?
I'd say barbecue, and I like the cheddar ones.
Oh yeah, like the sour cream cheddar.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always
Yeah.
so good.
Cheddar's
So good.
I missed a question. I threw in a question that I wasn't supposed to. What have you been missing about youth group recently?
I don't know, probably just like seeing people was really nice. Just kind of the whole like vibe of youth group is really like fun and relaxing, like, or most of the time at least. And I walk in, I'd see my boys, I'd see everybody talking. I'm like, dude, this is sick. And then like got the middle school girls calling me like Granny Joyce and stuff. I'm like, my granddaughters are here. I forgot. I have them.
Oh my gosh.
And then just like singing with everybody, listening to the band. I don't know. I'd say just kind of like the community aspect of it.
Yeah,
The
totally.
family feel.
It's funny. That's one of the things I've been picturing whenever we can get back together again is that time of worship that we'll have, and just how much joy I think we'll have in like getting to sing and worship together in that way, because it's so different being split in that aspect right now, and I really look forward to that.
Yeah.
So Josh, there's totally a new rhythm of life right now due to the shelter in place and school being all online and stuff like that. How have you seen good come out of this new rhythm for you? I know you said earlier you've been trying to look for some of the good in this. Have you noticed anything like that in your life?
Well, it's definitely been nice to have some like personal time. Just kind of like focus more on like how I'm feeling, and like what I'm like worried about in this current time. I don't know, getting to see my parents more is super nice. Instead of like going to school for 6 hours and then coming home and then going to work for like 3.5 and then coming back and then just being tired to do anything. So just being able to hang out and have dinner with them has been fun. Yeah, I'd say just having like, I don't know, just kind of slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
Being able to focus more on life.
Yeah, totally. I think that's been pretty normal for a lot of people, is just getting a little more introspective and actually thinking about what you're feeling when you're experiencing something, instead of just blitzing through the day. And then at the end of the day, it's like, I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
But here's my bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh, it's been a crazy year. All right. Yesterday I was watching The Mandalorian and I realized Baby Yoda happened this year. It seems like it was forever ago.
That's how 2020
that
will
was
be
this year?
remembered.
I mean it was technically
Oh my
2019,
goodness.
but you know, this school year even like crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
time's flown in a lot of ways and has been crazy in others. So in what way have you grown in the last year, Josh? In your faith specifically?
I think because I feel like honestly, I feel like I've been at kind of the same place that I've been for like kind of a while now, where it's not like I don't feel like I'm in a bad place. But like I said this before, I always feel like I could like be better. Like I know I'm doing all right, and like I'm keeping God in my mind, and I wake up and I pray and I like thank Him for everything. But I just still feel like I could be doing more, you know. I need to start reading my Bible. I haven't read my Bible in a while.
So when you say better, what does better look like to you? If you like mapped out like, man, this is what I think following Jesus or my relationship with Jesus, this would be like ideal. What does that look like in your mind?
I don't know, reading my Bible more would be nice. I don't know, maybe like tell my friends about what I've been doing. Maybe invite them to like an online Zoom youth group meeting or something. There's a bird that's like really pretty. It's a blue jay. Yeah, I'd say just stuff like that.
Yeah. I think the cool thing, sometimes we notice in these times where we can be more still, it's kind of like this longing for more, right? And I think the cool part is like God doesn't look down on us and be like, hey, Josh, get better, right? Or at following me. But it's like the series we've had of this invitation, right, from Jesus to continue to trust Him more and entrust ourselves to Him in every area. And you probably do have some opportunity right now to spend time or even just taking some chances with some things and be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to set aside half an hour right now or 15 minutes and just open my Bible or just reach out to a friend. And that's an invitation from the Lord, right? For you to grow and to struggle through it too. It's not easy, but I love that you're just real with that of like, man, I see that there could be more. I don't always know exactly what that looks like though, but sometimes it's just taking that first little step of faith towards Jesus more in those ways. So yeah, that's really cool. And I bet there's a lot of other students that feel similar in that same way. So last question for you, Josh. Is there a verse or verses, like a section of scripture that's just been meaningful to you during this time or just in general in life?
I'd probably say, I was thinking about this last night, Philippians 4, 6 and 7, which is the whole do not be anxious about anything, but actually I have it written down. But in everything, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. I written down.
Hey,
so good.
Yeah, because especially nowadays, like there's just a lot of like stuff to worry about. It feels like there's a lot of fear going around about like, you know, what if I get sick, or what if I get somebody else sick, or what if, I don't know, what if my business fails? And so it's just like going to God and be like, hey, God, can you just help me with this? Just take this away, please, or give me the strength to help me with it. Yeah, I'd say that one.
Yeah, that's super good. That's definitely one that, so, I mean, it's always relevant, right? But it's one that definitely gets exposed of like, okay, what are we supposed to do with our questions and our anxiety? It's take them to God. That's the best place, instead of letting it just stay in our minds or in our hearts and trying to figure it out and just get more anxious, right? Or even someone, it says like, don't be anxious, but ultimately it's because we know that we can bring those things to God. Yeah, super good. All right. So Josh, now is the time where you get to flip the script and ask us some questions that you have prepared. So fire away, Josh.
You know, I was thinking about a question last night, and I think I just remembered that I think Nels took it. I think I was thinking about where would you guys go after quarantine. That gum. All right. if you could only eat one country's food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Like Italian, Mexican.
Well, you hit my two right
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's always between Italian or Mexican because those are just my favorites. And I think I would go with Mexican because, don't get mad at me, don't give me a long list of Italian options. But to me, it seems like I could go healthy with Mexican in a way that I wouldn't choose to with Italian. I'd stick to lasagna and spaghetti and fettuccine Alfredo and all that.
Yeah.
Mexican, there's some good taco salads and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think I'd definitely go with Mexican, and I'd love every second of it.
Giant tortilla bowls they just scoop meat inside of.
Oh, so yeah. Good.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm the same as Christian. I just always have loved Mexican food, and especially if it's like authentic stuff. Oh, that's so good. But even just at home, getting like for Kat and I, one of our go-to meals to make is just burrito bowls, like black beans, quinoa or rice, and chicken or some sort of meat with it, and avocado, salsa, and chips. So good. I mean, so simple, so easy, and just always tastes so, the flavors and the spices, so good.
So good.
Hey, now I kind of want Mexican food.
I know, I'm getting so hungry.
I got Don Pedro's.
Dude, their taco salad, so bomb because they have such a good, like you were talking about, those like taco shell bowls. That's amazing. And then I always get half of 2 different kinds of meat in it because then you get a little more meat and it doesn't cost anything. Sneaky.
That's cheating the system with the secret menu items.
I do that.
Like
I do that at
Starbucks.
Chipotle too. I always get half of 2 different meats at Chipotle because you end up with a little more. Same with beans and same with the rice.
Just slides a piece of paper that says "please" on it.
Yeah.
Like 2 kinds of meat.
Yeah.
So like, I got you.
All right. Well, I think you got one last question for us. Correct, Mr. Joshua?
Yes. I was wondering, what have been some ways that you guys have seen God at work in these uncertain times?
I'll start. There's been a few ways. I think one is I've seen more curiosity in some people, where it's like I just see God pursuing them and they just want to learn more, whatever like one specific aspect, whether it's in the Bible, through finding videos or podcasts, whatever it is. I've seen some people just like bring in a lot of questions and really digging deep and, I don't know, making their faith personal and wanting to have a good understanding. And then another way is just like God revealing himself in like a lot of our idols not being there, where, you know, a lot of people focus on sports, focus on school, focus on relationships with people, and pretty much none of those are available right now. And like in these times where we're like, oh God, like I'd spend more time with you if this, you know, if I didn't have to worry about this, if I didn't have this distracting me, I'd spend more time with you, or I'd, you know, focus on you in my life more. And it's kind of revealing, like, do you really, you know? And on top of that, like, what was I gonna say? For me personally, reading my Bible, just seeing kind of like along the lines of what you were saying, Josh, I always feel like I can do more. I always feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. I need to do this or that. And just, I've been seeing in reading the Bible just that Jesus did it once for all. And it's about what he did, not what I do. And what I do is a response to that. And it's not something to feel shame over. It's more so like, I don't know. I look at the book of James and it doesn't really say this outright, but it says if you read the word and don't do it, it's like looking in the mirror and immediately forgetting what you saw, forgetting what you look like. And I kind of look at that as when I'm looking at my life and I feel like I'm not responding to the gospel and not responding to what Jesus has already done for me and how he wants me to live in his kingdom right now. That's just a reflection. That's all it is. It's a way of me to look at what I do and recognize, okay, am I really following Jesus right now, or am I just living how I want to live? And it's not anything about shame. It's not about what can I do more. It's just about receiving God's love and being filled by Him, and not by video games and things of this world like I like to choose. So yeah, I don't know how on topic that answer was, but that's my answer.
No, that's super good, man.
I'll accept it.
B minus.
Here's your stamp.
I think I've seen lots of ways that God has been at work, both personally in my life, and then in others around me. And I'll kind of avoid the personal thing because I think I've shared that a bit, like in the lesson last week and some other things. But I think one of the ways I've seen God work in others, one is students that have graduated out of high school and youth group. Just more of them have come back around either to me or to people I know, and there's this longing for hope right now where maybe they've kind of drifted away from God in the last couple of years, but they're remembering. They've had more space to remember, when did I actually have joy, or when did I actually have hope? And it was when I was hanging out with this group of people, whether in Young Life or youth group or at church. And so they're just kind of coming back around to, why is that, And like Christian is saying, asking some of those questions. So that's been really cool to see. I also have just heard about some of our students specifically that have just taken this time to dive into scripture more and just been like, okay, like what Christian was saying, like, I don't have any excuses now. Like, I've got time. And just dove into that. And I don't think when I was in high school, I would have done that. Like, I think I totally would have been like, oh, I should do that. And then just still watch movies and video games and, all that kind of stuff. But that really is encouraging just to hear some students doing that. And the other thing is, I just think in this time too, God's really producing in us like what actually matters, and what do I actually miss, and really receiving the things that we had before the shelter in place, before COVID. Whenever we get back to some of those things, we're seeing those things as a gift from Him, and even like getting to meet at youth group every week, like. Man, it's easy sometimes even for me to go through the motions at youth group and be like, oh yeah, here's another Wednesday and we've got a lesson, but now I really hope when I go back, like I never take any week for granted that we get to gather in that way, and that we get to play the games that we do, that we sing together, that we get to have discussion groups and hear from one another. Just like all those things are so special now. And they always were, but sometimes losing them, to some degree, kind of reveals how amazing of a gift it actually is. And I think there's other things too, just getting to go to the park, or going to see friends or family, just how we may take advantage of those times more and make the most of those opportunities. So yeah, those are some of the ways that I've just seen God at work in our world, both here in Camas and then widespread as well. So good question, Josh. And I think we should all just keep having eyes to try and see what God's doing in this time, because it is unique, and we don't want to miss out, on Him doing something unique and special in this time where He's producing something in us. So yeah. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for hanging with us for a bit and sharing your thoughts. Any closing remarks before we do one claps?
No, I don't think so.
There you have it, people.
All right, so I got a one clap. This is a pretty easy one, honestly. Josh rocked that halftime heads up. Okay, he got 5, 1 for every $1. So one clap for Josh in 3, 2, 1.
Boom. That's pretty good. My one clap is I have always appreciated this about you, Josh, but doing this on the podcast too, just you being real with where you're at and never trying to put up a front of where you're at, either with Jesus or in life in general, but just being honest of like, yeah, this is where I am, and I don't know if that's where I want to be, but also things could be worse. I just appreciate your honesty there, and also we'll be praying that you do get to take some time to just be with the Lord while the shelter in place is still in effect, and that it leads to more of that in your day-to-day life after that. So one clap for Josh being real. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so close.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate the remarks. My one clap, I don't know, this whole thing's been kind of fun. Good change of pace instead of just like doing school stuff and then playing video games for the rest of the day. Yeah, I'd say one clap for Skype podcasts. In 3, 2, 1. That was bad. Okay.
I don't know if they've ever been good.
Yeah.
But
If you find one perfect one, it'll be amazing. Just mind blowing.
That'd be
We'll
like
sign
the
when we
episode.
go out. Yes.
Last episode.
We're done.
I'm sorry, I need to cancel next week. We just had the perfect one clap. So thank you.
It's gonna be celebrated.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Josh. Appreciate you coming on, and hopefully, man, we'll get to see you before we know it. But the dogs are growling in the background now. If you're wondering, that is not my stomach.
That might be mine, actually.
Oh, yes. Thinking about the Mexican
Leash the
food.
house.
Thinking about
Sweet.
Donnie.
All right, dude. We'll stay classy until we see you next time. And everybody, thanks for listening.